Hello folks, this is Goose. Welcome to our show. Our show's called Goose in the Wild, and we're really in the wild today. We're down in Benjamin. We're going to be talking about homers today. You're probably thinking, oh, another baseball show? No, we're not going to be talking about baseball homers. We're going to be talking about pigeons. And our guest today, any of you guys know who our pigeon man is down in Benjamin, is my good buddy Mike Hales. We're going to have him come in right now.
Hi, Goose.
Welcome, buddy. What do you think of this pigeon stuff, this homer stuff?
It's a sport of kings.
The sport of kings?
Yep.
So do you have to be rich to have pigeons?
It doesn't hurt, but they call it the poor man's racehorse.
Why is that?
Because it probably doesn't cost as much as horse racing.
Okay. So we're going to take the people right over here to your loft. And what's the first thing we're going to see these homers doing?
Well, pigeons are actually a clean animal, and they're as clean as you'll let them be. So I think today I'm going to give them a bath first thing.
So since Bryce hasn't had a bath today, but the pigeons?
Pigeons like to bath.
Sounds good.
Okay.
That's where we're going to go. Mike, when you said you was going to go give the birds a bath, I thought you was going to give them all an individual bath by hand.
Yeah.
But as we can see, they do a good job themselves, right?
That's right. You could bath them individually if you wanted, but this is a lot quicker and easier on me.
Now, since they're a racer, does a clean bird mean a faster bird?
Well, I think it helps them probably psychologically.
Oh, psychologically?
Yeah, don't you feel better after you have a bath?
I do.
And I think it just makes them feel better. Plus, in the fall, right now, when they're molting their feathers, a bath really helps with the molt.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to go take a look at inside Mike's loft, see where some of the roosting perches, is that what they're called?
Perches, nest boxes.
Nest boxes. We're going to take a look inside Mike's loft right now.
Looks like we got an egg on the perch, Goose.
An egg on the perch?
They shouldn't be laying eggs on the perch, but...
Oh. So...
But anyway, that's what the pigeon eggs looks like. Catch that. Catch that one.
Oh, he's pulled one on me, folks. These aren't real eggs. These are plastic. Wow.
Wood eggs. That's a real egg right there.
Oh, okay, there's a real egg.
Can't hardly tell the difference, can you?
And these are wood eggs?
Wood eggs.
Okay, see the difference, folks?
Them wood eggs will never hatch.
All right, and the real egg will?
The real egg could hatch.
Okay. All right. As you can see, up here, this is where they roost at night.
Okay.
Now in the video, it said that the birds get real oriented about their box.
That's right.
Competitive. And so if another bird tries to come in on their box, will they run them off?
That's right. Territorial.
Territorial, that's the word.
Yep. They like their own perch and they like their own nest box. They own the nest box, and if somebody else gets in there, you got to fight on your hands.
All righty.
So
now, these two sections are the breeders.
These are the breeder sections. We've got nest boxes. It's not the breeding season now, but the pigeons will mate up in the nest boxes and raise their young in there.
So the breeding season is from when to when?
From anywhere from January to June.
All right. Now we're going to go over to these two sections. And what do we got over here?
We've got the flying sections over here. Old birds and young birds.
Old birds, young birds. Okay, Mike, you told me that this section is the older birds? And over here's the young one.
Yep.
Now, when we talked before, you told me the difference in the breeds. You know, like what kind of bird is this one?
This one is a Jansen.
Jansen.
Jansens are more of a short distance pigeon, like your quarter horse racehorse.
All right.
And then you got thoroughbred racehorses.
Yep.
And we have different strains of pigeons that fly the longer races better than they do the short ones.
That makes sense to me. Now, do we have a different breed in here besides the Jansen?
Yes, we do.
What do we got?
I got a Van Riel right here.
Van Riel?
Yeah.
This
That's
bird?
more of a long distance bloodline.
Okay. Now, if you notice, folks, he catches them pretty easily, but he's our trainer. Now, I've been told, you know, in that video, they said pigeons are athletes. Do you believe that?
Right.
Why are they athletes?
Because they can fly hundreds of miles in one day. They'll fly, our club races birds up to 500 and 600 miles. They can fly that, the good ones sometimes can make it 600 in one day. And if a human was to accomplish the same thing, it would be the equivalent of running about 5 or 6 marathons in one day.
Oh, wow. And so you're the trainer. You have to feed them certain things to make sure they stay in good flying shape.
Yep.
Now, I noticed those neighborhood pigeons, they come around my place to get the gravel,
Right.
to grind up their food. Now, these birds don't do that, do they?
No, but they still need the gravel. But we have grit. Feed them grit because they have a gizzard and it goes in and helps them digest their food.
All right, so the company makes special grit for the birds.
Special grit.
Okay.
Special food.
All right. So, is there anything else you'd like to share with the viewers here that maybe might spark an interest in this hobby?
Well, I can show you some of the feed and some of the
Okay,
grit.
let's show the viewers some of the grit and some of the feed. All right, Mike's back. He's got some of the feed here. Can you kind of share with the viewers what we got in this concoction?
We've got whole corn, whole wheat, with different kinds of peas, safflower, and a few other things.
Ooh.
Flax, sunflower seeds,
Ooh, sounds
belly,
good.
brown rice. I got my
All
little
right.
helper here. Got
Your
some
little
grit.
helper. Okay, now this is grit.
That's the gravel that
Okay, that I was talking about earlier.
you was talking about earlier.
Now, a human wouldn't want to eat this stuff, right? Okay, and what about this stuff?
Humans do eat this stuff.
Oh, they do?
My wife always says the birds eat better than we do.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you got your corn and your wheat, and, you know,
Yeah.
any of your
Oh, now
grass
listen.
or corns. The grit has calcium. It's a mixed grit with calcium and granite stones and charcoal and several different other things in there.
All right, folks, we're going to take another break, and this will be a surprise. We'll be back. All right, folks, what we've got here now, we've got some of Mike's birds crated. Now you crate them to take them to where you're going to have them race. Is that the deal?
That's right.
And so what Mike's going to show us now is how you handle a bird without injuring him. He's going to show you the different feathers. And we'd like to introduce you to Mike's son. This is Garrett Hales. And is it too young? What's the age that a boy or a girl could get started with racing pigeons?
No, any age. Garrett helps me quite a bit.
And he's how old?
He's 9.
He's 9.
Yep.
All right.
And he's been helping me for quite a few years. So.
Beautiful.
Yep.
All right, so Mike's going to show us how to handle the bird.
That's how you handle them. You put their feet in between your fingers so they can't push off. And then you can hold them comfortable. You can pull their wing out. These are the primary flights. Show them where the primary is, I'll get it. Start right there where it turns. Right here. Okay, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And he's dropped He's dropped one in there. It'll be growing the 10th one out there. They got 10, and it'll be the same on each side. See how he's got 3 left there? Actually 4. The other side will be the same.
All right.
See how it's the same? Them last 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he's dropped that one there. Now notice the bands. They have a numbered band, which is their identification band.
Okay.
And then they have a racing band, which has an electronic chip in it. So when they come home from the race, all they have to do is walk across the antenna.
All right.
At the trap, and it clocks them in right then.
Okay.
All you need to have is the power on.
All right, so do the pigeons wear the same colored bands, red and green? Or do different pigeons wear different colored bands?
Well, each 2006 is this bird, the year this bird was born.
All right.
And each year they have a different color band.
Okay.
Next year it might be blue, the year after that it might be green. We have yellow ones. And then about every 5 or 6 years it comes back to the same color.
Okay.
That's how you hand a bird to somebody. Get it? Then they can take it into their, you take the front end to them like that and take their legs away from them, and then they can't push off.
All right. How much for a typical bird, Mike?
Well, you can spend anywhere from a couple of bucks to a couple of $100 to a couple of $1,000. Just kind of like the horse race business.
Oh.
Yeah.
I noticed that when I watched the video, the oldest feathered friend, Belgium and the British Isles, pigeon racing is big business.
Yes, it is.
Why hasn't caught on in America yet?
Well, that was the origination spot of it all. But I think it's actually caught on pretty good in America here. In fact, nowadays, the other countries, Belgium and the Netherlands and over there, they actually import birds from the U.S. And we do the same, but there's a lot of back and forth now, so it goes both ways.
Okay. Now, are mainly men involved in this business, or are there some ladies?
Mainly men, but there is a few ladies. We've had a few ladies in our club through the years, and that's the thing. It can be old, young, male, female, it doesn't matter. It can be a family sport.
And pigeon fanciers gather en masse in Orléans, France. Starting point for the National Derby, test of the year for the racing birds. Each owner clocks his bird from the moment of release, and wings fill the sky. The winner flew over 320 miles to his home roost at better than a mile a minute.
Hi folks, we just seen a clip on world's oldest feathered friend, and now we're going to take you with Mike's going to show you one of his birds and what he looks for in a good racer. So if Mike will come back in and explain to the viewers, just kind of keep it simple, what you look for in a good racing bird.
Okay. Well, this time of year they're kind of in a heavy molt. As you'll notice, this bird's molting out around the neck and the head a little bit. So another couple months he'll look a lot better.
All right.
And he'll have all his flight feathers coming in. But basically what I like to feel in a pigeon is nice muscling that comes around the keel bone even, and buoyancy. Feels halfway light, yet he's full of muscle. And I like to see a nice looking wing, rippling in it. There's a lot of different things to look for conformation wise, but conformation doesn't always mean anything, because you can have an ugly pigeon that wouldn't do anything in a show that might be a multiple combine winner.
Oh.
And you could have a nice pretty little good looking pigeon that maybe could never win a race and he's just lucky to make it home.
I got you.
So the training basket is a true test though.
All right.
And the bird's on race day. So when you see that tail sticking out of the trap on race day, some guys like to go by tail sign.
Oh.
I like to see that tail sticking out, you know, that's the bird they want.
All right.
The first one's home. So the basket is the true test. You never really know what's inside their heart until you get them out on the course and try them.
That same way with a human.
Yep.
You can't measure heart, can you?
Nope. The one guy asked the old veteran, he says, what do I look for when I go to the auction to buy a bird? He says, look to the bird first and then the pedigree later. Some guys might do it the other way around, but that's what makes the sport fun.
Okay. You're probably wondering where we're at. We're down here at Lincoln Beach Park. I can't believe how much this place has changed. We used to come down here and hunt around West Mountain when Dad and I and a bunch of guys that go dove hunting and things like that, pheasant hunting. This place has really changed. If you haven't been down here in a while, it's worth a peek. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to actually release the birds, right?
Yep. They're going to race us home.
They're going to race us back to Benjamin?
Yep.
About how long will it take them?
It'll take them about 5 or 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you was telling me on the way over.
It's about 6 miles. It'll take them about 6 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
You was telling me when there's a stiff headwind, they'll get right down low, about just a little above the fences.
Yeah, about 2 feet high.
2 feet high above the fences.
Above the ground.
Oh, above the ground.
Yeah, they'd hit you in the knees.
Wow. But you says what's kind of odd is that instead of going under the power lines, and they can make it easy, they go up and over?
Yep, up and over the power lines. And sometimes your stragglers hit the power lines, and that can be rough on them.
All right, so all your birds don't always make it home.
Not every time.
So why? Do some of them get lost?
I think the wires probably take out, they're probably our biggest culprit.
Wires?
Yeah, and we fly the north course up through Salt Lake, Ogden, Brigham City, all through there's a lot of big wires.
Oh.
And I think that's probably our biggest culprit. Sometimes I think they just get lost and take up residency somewhere else.
What about raptors, birds of prey?
Yeah, the hawks can get them. Sometimes dove hunters can't tell the difference between a pigeon and a dove.
Like an athlete once in a while pulls up lame. Do the racers pull up lame with a bad wing?
If they hit a wire. Sometimes if they hit a wire, they'll come in and they'll be bruised underneath their wing, and they won't be able to fly up to their perch for a couple of weeks till it heals up.
But it will heal.
It will heal.
All right.
In most cases.
Okay, folks. We're going to take a break right now. When we come back, we're going to see Mike release his birds. As you can see, they took off and went south towards Benjamin, and then they swung back north, and they're going out over the water now. But they're getting their bearings, right, Mike?
That's right. I think they're headed. I'm not going to see much of them now.
That's right.
I think they're on their way. Still see them. Gets tough against the mountain, but they're still going.
All right, so we're going to get back to Mike's place.
We're going to have to hurry to beat them.
Ooh, and to see the arrival. Ooh, we got to go now, baby.
Okay, let's go.
Wow, can you believe that, Bryce?
That's pretty cool.
Wow, they come in low. We about missed them.
I don't even know where they came from.
Holy smoke. Now, we're going to watch and see if they go into the loft. Mike told me that as soon as they get back from the race, they're supposed to go automatically into the loft and feed up. And so we're going to see what these birds are going to do. They're pretty calm right now. And so Mike ought to be arriving here real soon. There they are. There's the first couple going in. Just like he said that they should do. But you know how kids are, Bryce.
How are kids?
Those junior high kids.
Oh, yeah.
They're supposed to go in and get dressed and get out for roll call. But do they all do it?
Nah.
No. Now look, we still got 4 birds on top, right?
They're the teenagers right there.
All right. All right, Mike's arrived and Garrett's arrived. and there's one bird left to go back in the loft. That'd kind of be like me, Bryce. I like the outdoors. I'd probably be the last guy in the loft. What about you?
That's me.
And so here's Mike. He's just arrived.
So your wife has to tell you to come inside from playing at night, and you
That's
don't want
right.
to come in.
Yeah. Now if you hear Mike,
Time to come in, Goose.
and he's been whistling.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he's whistling, and that's something
That bird's starting to come down.
That's right. That's something that the trainers do. Boy, he's still a little reluctant, isn't he?
Stubborn bird.
All right, there he goes. He's going to slip in now. No. Kind of like a teenager.
Not sure he's wanting to eat what.
There he goes.
All right. Let's go catch up with Mike.
Okay, let's do it.
I can't believe it. I'm still down one bird. I'm missing one bird. They should have all been here by now. Oh my heck, there it is. Would you look at that? It's a big goose bird. Goose, you're right here.
Yeah.
The others only took the other 6.5 minutes
Oh, wow.
to fly 6 miles.
You haven't heard of a homing goose?
Where have you been? Oh,
Well, I went by way of West Mountain pacing.
I've never heard of a homing goose.
Well,
I've heard of a homely goose.
oh, a homely goose?
Homely
Okay.
goose.
All right, but not a
I'll
homing.
be darn lucky he is a homing goose. He's got a message. He really is a homing goose.
All right, folks. Before we close our show tonight, I want to ask Mike, and I know the audience would like to ask you this last question. How do the birds know how to get back home? How?
Well, I tell them if I'm sending them north or if I'm sending them south. And I say, when you get out of the crates, you got to fly south. And they fly home.
So, no scientific answer?
I promise them food and shelter. No, that's something, Goose, that the scientists have been studying for years, and they got a lot of theories. Don't know if there's any real true theory, but one of the main things they have in mind is the sun. They use the sun in relationship to where they are, and that helps them get home. When the sun has these sunstorms, which scientists track with a K-factor, the K-factor will go up or down, and if the sun is having a sunstorm, which makes a high K-factor, it will mess the birds up, and they'll have a harder time finding their way home. They can still make it, but it messes them up a little bit.
What does the message say?
Now, let's take a look at it here. Well, Goose, it says it's time to close the show.
And that's what we'll do right now. And you know how we sign off. Hey, have a great day. It's just a dandy day.
Yes, it is.
And remember, we love you. Thanks, Mike, for being our guest, buddy. I
Thanks,
learned a
Goose.
lot.
You're welcome.
Catch you later.